Theories out there and speculations to where exactly Nikki was during the time Freaky Nikki, let's just call her, took over during the movie Obsession. My personal theory, I'll say that to the end. But let's just go over the 11 times real Nikki showed up to show evidence or proof to give hints to where exactly she is. There's way more than people think, like a lot more than people think. So I'm super excited. Let's just jump right into it, guys. What is up, YouTube? It is me, J6 Guy, and I'm feeling like Ian after he just won $1 billion, but before he got shot. And we are back today with another movie review. But it's not a review. This is like a theory video, I guess. Like, this is my first theory video, so I'm super excited. Let's just lock in now. So obviously, with how big Obsession is right now, with being a horror fan, well, first of all, sorry, spoilers. But with being a horror fan, many people made the similarities to obviously the Sunken Place film in the movie Get Out by Jordan Peele. Me personally, I really thought of Hell from Talk to Me by Raka Raka. That's the, especially, we're going to get down like the scenes or whatever, but like that's the one thing I just thought about, or similarities. But like here's the evidence to show like why people may be also thinking this. So we're just going to jump right into it, guys. Get your popcorn ready. It's going to be a long one. Let's just jump right into it. Okay, so first we got the post-wish car scene. And as we know, at this point in the movie, Bear just made the wish and freaking Nikki snaps in and takes over real Nikki. And at this point, freaking Nikki is talking at the window and real Nikki snapped back in and is like, what the F? What, that was mad weird. Freaking Nikki snaps back. Nikki snaps back really quick. Then freaking Nikki fully takes back over. And like in that quick moment, Curry Barker is like showing us that it's, first of all, is that fast of a switch, or it can be, and that it is Nikki getting taken over. Like somebody is the pilot of her body now, essentially. Two, then later on in the next scene, Bear and Nikki's first kiss. Nikki's sudden kiss scares both Bear and obviously everybody in the theaters, of course. I don't know if I mentioned this to you guys. I'm on movieweb.com. They list every like point in where real Nikki shows up. So thank you, MovieWeb. But later in the next scene, as we know, Bear and Nikki basically is making out, and real Nikki starts screaming, like runs off the bed, and Bear is like, "What the F is going on? Like, what the F was that?" And Freaky Nikki snaps back in, and Freaky Nikki's like, "Oh, I'm sorry, like that was a seizure, yada yada yada." And at that point, when I saw that one, that was like the confirmation for me. Like, especially like third time seeing the movie, I was really like, bruh, like this is very like flipperoo, like pilot. Oh, almost like identity disorder in a type of way of, especially of how Indy Navarrete performance is just so good of how just switching through both of the characters like that. But it's just at that point I was just like, yeah, this is 100%. Nikki is just somewhere else. And at that point in the movie, I knew that it was something that I don't want to say demonic, because it definitely I don't want to say, because I don't want to say straight hell or demonic yet. Well, you know, so let's just get right into the next one. Okay, so the next one, they say Nikki crying in the corner. This is the scene where Bear is sleeping and wakes up, and I believe this is the same scene where, yeah, this is the same scene where like they're just screaming. And basically it says here, I'm just gonna read what movieweb.com says. When Bear wakes up to see Nikki watching him sleep, something is clearly very wrong. Nikki's face changes into something ghostly and uncanny as she weeps about how she believes he doesn't love her as much as she loves him. The real Nikki makes her presence known by using the phrasing, I feel like it's not mutual. Really talking about the relationship that she and Bear are in, but appearing to be talking about her love for Bear. So I didn't know this until I read this article. I don't know if this is just whoever wrote the article assuming, or if this is just like what they got or an interview. But I'm just gonna let's just go off. This is real, or right? That is crazy. Like when I like first read that, I didn't think about that. I I went and saw the movie for the third time again with my mom, and that point, I read the article before seeing the movie again, so I can like be prepared for the video. And when she just says it in the movie, it is definitely a change. Like, and it's weird because it's like it goes from that freaky Nikki to regular Nikki, but it's like, why would then Nikki be saying, I feel like it's not mutual? Like, because at that point, Nikki knows that, like, it's not her piloting. And that's the other thing that goes into it is that freaking Nikki obviously has the memories of Nikki, but the memories aren't fully clear, I guess, and that's shown because Nikki says, "Oh, my cat just died," and Bear's like, "My cat just died," obviously, you know. And it was something else that she said too, and it was like very awkward or weird that referred to Bear, but it wasn't her. And so she freaking Nikki knows some of the memories or whatever, but not all of them. And just Nikki obviously is aware of everything that goes on, if hence why she's like, I feel like it's not mutual. But at the same time, my thing is, why would freaking Nikki say that too? Like, freaking Nikki is fully in love with Bear at this point in the movie. Like, Bear hasn't really done any questioning so much to really make Freaky Nikki freak out in the manner of, oh, my feelings are hurt, like I don't feel like you love me type time. Not yet. Like, so that's why I feel like it may be true. Obviously, I'm gonna do this one quick. Ate in bed after the restaurant with Bear. That was one of the most like horrifying scenes ever. Definitely like showing off like scenes of SA. It was just fucked up. Like actually, it was just so fucked up. But yeah, obviously in that matter, it's just like the pilot is just there, but it's nothing can control, and it's so fucked up because it really just like yeah, it's like that's all I say is like showing the SA and Nikki can't do anything the fuck about it. Okay, guys. So this one freaked me out too because I didn't realize this one either. Nikki's note in Bear's lunch, right? Real Nikki's writes out a clear message to Bear, but he misses, right? After disturbingly creating a memorial to Bear's dead cat, Sandy in the kitchen previously, Freaky Nikki takes things a step further by making Bear's lunch for work. The lunch included a sandwich made from the dead cat, met along with a picture of Bear, Nikki, and the caption, "Not me." I'm gonna put the picture up too. I did not realize this, bro. Like I did not realize this. And even um and even what can't I think of her name right now? Sarah. So my thing is how Sarah read it and also didn't like realize that with everything that they just had the conversation. Like Sarah didn't look at the picture, or maybe she didn't like see the picture, or she just saw the note. Yeah, no, yeah, I think she just, yeah, I'm pretty sure she just snatched the note. Now that I think about it, not the actual picture, and Bear saw the picture in there after. But that, but like, bro, like it just makes the next scene, the later scene with Bear and real Nikki's like basically sleepwalking or whatever, even worse. Because like even if he missed it, like it's clear as day. Read it, not me. What else would put two and two together? And this shows more that Bear is the villain, and it also shows that even when Bear is away, that Nikki can be in control at some points. And woo, if bro, I would have paid to get a scene of like Nikki alone switching through both of the like freaky Nikki and regular Nikki. But and that's just a whole nother crazy factor of how often did real Nikki try to con like take control when we like when the audience wasn't like seeing. Now the next obvious one is a quick one too. Bear's customer service car. When Bear's finally in the car, Willie is like, "I need to change it." He calls the Make a Wish Willow, and they basically is like, "Sorry, you have to either yourself or you have to die." And essentially, dun 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 dun, the caller is like, "Oh, you want to talk to Nikki? She's here," and just moves the phone, and Nikki is just screaming like agony, screaming like one of the worst like screams like ever. And at that point, to me, like ding ding ding, I'm like, she has to be in like purgatory or hell. But what if it's not? Like, and my thing is that's just the easy answer. Like, not saying that's a bad answer. Like, it could totally be the answer. That would be awesome. But my thing is, let's just actually be challenging. What if it's not hell? Okay, what if it's a form of purgatory, or what if it is just a form of magic, and essentially Nikki's just her mind is in a whole different dimension somewhere, and it's just many layers to way think about. So we also have one, Get Out, like just more things for you to think about. Like once we get back to the end of where we really think Nikki is during the whole course of the movie. So number five, it says Nikki in reverse, and this is basically like during one of the scenes where her and Bear are like confronting herself, and Nikki's like moving in the background, moving in reverse. I guess you could say like this is basically their explanation of it. I'm not going to read the whole paragraph. The explanation is that Nikki, freaky Nikki, wanting to move forward in that way, having Nikki move backwards, it was like Nikki saying no, but obviously her mind can't do anything, but her physical body is taken over by Freaky Nikki, and she's still going on with moving front and back, whatever you would say, whatever you would call that motion. I don't know what to call it. But as scary as it was, you can definitely see that though. Like that's the reason why those certain mechanical ways of why Nikki moves a certain way is literally her mind or consciousness that's still there is like no, or certain ways, or you mean if you notice like a lot of certain times where real Nikki pops up is where her and Bear are being somewhat the most intimate. So I wouldn't be surprised because that was kind of I think the same scene where she starts being really freaky deaky, saying some crazy stuff. So that's why I think this could be true. So basically, four is Nikki's poem that she reads at Ian's party, and basically in the article they're saying that in this moment, that Nikki reads the Hansel and Gretel basically saying how they shouldn't be together or whatever, obviously. But I get that, but if this was real Nikki in this point in time, for her to talk that long, she would have actually said like, "Yo, this is not me. Somebody help me." She would have read her own personal poem. I would say it is scary as hell though that Freaky Nikki knows her poem front to back and like the emotions of it. Like, it's one thing if she was just a robot reading it. She's fully involved in the wish, of I have to love Bear fully through like whatever, to the point where she goes through Nikki's memories and knows this poem front to back, and actually loves the poem to read it aloud. Like you like if you picking up what I'm putting down. It's one thing if she was just like, that's why I don't want to say she's just a demon. This is obviously way worse than that. If it was just a demon, she would have just probably killed everybody or just done something way more malicious way earlier. But it's the fact that she's playing the role, and she's happy to. It's not something hard. But then number three, obviously we have Nikki's very public self harm during Ian's party when she freaks out. It's not me. Grabs a bottle, hits herself. And at that point, We don't know why Nikki hits herself with the bottle, but the next scene we then know why is because Nikki wants to literally kill herself because where she is or wherever her conscience is worse than living. Like, so number two, we have Nikki's mid sleep request, and this was just makes it so much more like, bro, just heartbreaking because the scene previously, you wonder why real Nikki hits herself with the bottle, and the next scene, Nikki talks to Bear, and Bear's like, "Oh, I'm sorry," but he doesn't realize it's real Nikki, and Nikki says she's asleep, meaning whoever is piloting her body, and it's essentially like, please kill me, like I can't do this anymore, like it's so bad. And Bear, being the fucking worst piece of shit ever, is like, it's that bad being with me, and it's just so sad to see. And in that moment, like having her like scream in the end, literally pleading Bear to kill her, and as he chooses to walk out to his own demise, choosing to go along with this, like in that moment, he could have easily said okay and just really actually either did that and done the consequences or done what the people on the phone told him to do. And it's just so sad to see. But in that moment, is that brings up another question: is now what it reverts back to is earlier in the movie when Nikki is uh in the corner and Bear is asleep, and freaking Nikki mentions that she doesn't like to sleep. I'm pretty sure that is because when she sleeps, that is the only time real Nikki is somewhat in control, but not even in control of the body, but fully in control of the mind, like the ears and the mouth. So I'm wondering if that how it goes too. If at just certain points Nikki can only control certain like motions or parts of the body. Because if you peep too, during certain ways, like even when she hits herself with the bottle, she's only moving her head and her arm. Like every part, everything else of her body is straight. Like you mean over, but certain points she does, but at other points you can clearly tell with the robotic like movements, like she only has control of certain areas. So I really think that it has to be a. I don't want to. I don't want to say a demon. This is too like nice for it to be a demon, and that's why I. It's not hell. It's not purgatory. It's something worse or scarier. And obviously, lastly, we finally have the last scene where Nikki wakes up, throws Bear's bodies on the floor, and is literally just screaming in agony. Like and it was just probably one of the best outros in movie history. But just with Nikki just screaming like that, and with the whole horror over, and her literally wishing she was dead before this. It's just so horrifying, bruh. So so we did all that. We finally went through the whole article. We went through the 11 times real Nikki show up, right? So at this point, let's just try to come to a conclusion, all right? Let's just sit down. Let's just look at the evidence and see what we got, all right? Let's just break it up into three options. You got one. Easy option, easy A. Let's just call it that. You got HE double hockey sticks hell. And you got basically the guy on the phone being like a servant or basically the big man himself, but I don't think so. He seemed like as cool as one of the guys in the store, basically. So even if it is HE double hockey sticks, that's cool, man. That's awesome, and it just reminds me of that screaming that similar to the way they showed Hell and Get Out. Not Get Out and Talk to Me, I sorry. With I believe it was her little brother. I can't think of it was somebody's little brother and him in Hell. One of the worst scenes visually I've ever seen in my life. But literally in that scene, like that's an easy option A. HE double hockey sticks, Nikki's just in the hell and this is a demon controlling her body and they flip back and forth. Here's why I don't think it's that. One, This no religious imagery at all in the movie. Nothing. I tried. I looked. Nothing. Two, when it's usually a demon, this is regular, not regular. This is a fictional movie, but like usually in movie lore, there's always a possession or something you need to do to have the demon like leave or come in or out. Like you can't just it doesn't work for like there's no like oh there's a demon in you point. You know that's not how it works usually. So this is why I don't think it's hell or a demon. Then we got option B, sunken place 2.0. So what if it's just like a similar sunken place to where Nikki is just in the mind and can see everything, hear everything, but cannot control the body or the mouth or whatever. And at certain points, she still can, but obviously is not in control. Like she's in the backseat of her own mind. This is definitely like a easy, not an easy, but like a easier thing to for me to digest to accept because I was like this is cool because then you can do so much more with it with the other wishes too like you know because what if it is like a sort of I'm calling it purgatory but what if it's a sense of like a waiting list for like because obviously like I don't know. So number two, you could say is B. I'm gonna say somewhat like the sunken place from Get Out, and it's like Nikki is there, can see everything, hear everything, but she is not in the driver's seat. Can't really like see everything or do everything because freaking Nikki's in control. And the reasons why I say this is because one, the sleep scenes that proves that Nikki can be in and out but it also proves that she's not somewhere else permanently. Hence hell. Like she's not just in hell. Even with the screaming scene, that doesn't just mean like, oh, Nikki's like in hell. She could have just, being tortured or just literally screaming like what is going on. So that's why like a version of the sunken place I would really like enjoy because you can do more with that too. Curry Barker's already said there's going to be a TV show, and so with that you can do way more with the lore of it being a sunken place too. Then we got option C. Let's just say option C. I'm just like throwing out there. If you don't think it's either hell, B, a sunken place, C, I'm gonna say See, I'm gonna say like this is like my theory. I guess my theory option C, my like theory option. This is not like clear as day. I'm just bear with me, guys. What if this is some type of purgatory line, right? For the wishes, like the wishes has something to do with it has to have something to do with people from either a different dimension or a different time or people it doesn't have to be people specifically dead or in the afterlife. uh but it would that would just make a lot of sense. So with that being said, what if with certain wishes it's just like that's just how it is, like as broad as the wishes, it just has to go through certain lines to do certain things for the specific wish because of the amount of wishes, obviously. So what if it's specific with the wish? So Bear makes a wish of I wish Nikki would love me more than anybody in the entire world. Snap is different. There's somebody piloting her body, right? Right. And at the end of the movie, when freaking Nikki makes the wish, Bear doesn't change. Like Bear doesn't have a distinct like there's somebody else controlling him change. Cause I believe Bear truly was like acceptance of loving Nikki fully as in that regard. So I don't think like Bear. I don't think somebody controlled Bear body. I think they did that on purpose to show that like it wasn't like that. Bear was fully accepting of this, and it was just the wish that kind of amplified it. With the way Bear did it, right? He was wishing for something that wasn't consensual, that Nikki obviously at that point, from the viewpoint of the audience, we don't think Nikki likes Bear that much. So with the specific wish that he made, that wish had to change. Somebody put in Nikki's head. So for example, if there was another wish, right? If this is just me spitballing here, if there's another wish, if I went and got a one wish Willow tomorrow, and then I say, this is the girl I've been dating the past 5 years, right? And we've been together 5 years and we're truly in love. And I make a wish, say, I wish that I will marry this girl, right? There's not going to be a person that just jumps in my body and says, hey, I'm going to marry this girl. That's just, I feel like that wish would just make me go marry her because I always already love her as much to marry her. I don't feel like there's just going to be somebody like I'm trying to make it clear that just because somebody makes a wish doesn't mean there's automatically being piloted. And just because this is a situation doesn't mean that this is a random demon piloting Nikki. I feel like this is a special scenario where you just had probably someone in another time, another dimension, possibly purgatory, maybe a demon, maybe an angel for all we know, that wanted to just love something fully, and the fact that the out was just bare, and that was a part of the witch or the wish. And this could be a witch. Ah, my mic. This could be a witch for all we know that is just, is like got her opportunity at a full young life with a good man, and all she has to do is abide by one rule: is love Bear more than anybody on the planet, no matter what. And obviously, it gets crazy, but that's the point of. I think it just gets crazy because you have two minds in one brain, fighting over it, and that's the thing. You have multiple emotions going over it. So, option C is just my whole theory of the wish factor, and like, like if each wish is exactly what we think it is. And I don't think it is. Like, I feel like in the TV show, it's going to be clear. Curry Barker's going to show way more of things that clear as day give us way more answers of, mind you, the TV show, we're probably not going to get it for probably 6-7 years, but 6-7. But, yeah, like that's kind of my ultimate theory. Like, if I had to choose, I'm going with option C. That it was just not by random, but it was just by wish mechanic, and this is just special, and it's just fucked up that something or someone did take over Nikki Navarrete. And funny thing is, I also wanted to mention this video. When I went to go see the movie with my mom, I my mom looks over to me, and at some point in the movie, I believe it was like not that far after. I believe it was the scene where like Nikki was at the door in a red dress, and my mom was just like, is she a monster? And I was like, and I was dying laughing, but I actually like thought about that, and I was just like, bro, like she could totally be a monster, and like I didn't even recollect that, but that could totally be, an option too, like just a monster or something that just got its turn at a place. So I don't know, but that was my little theory time video for you guys. But if you guys like this video, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for the views on my last obsession video, man. I really appreciate it. I worked my butt off for that video. I'm going to work my butt off for this one too, so I hope it does really good. Love you guys. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. And let me know your guys' options in the comments, theories, and concerns. Love you guys. Peace.